$584 billion is the kind of market cap in 2024, and is projected to double by 2029 to over 1.1 trillion, with a growth rate of about 15% annually. So clearly, you're seeing the value there in the ROI, and we'll get into that with our panelists in shortly. And then just really kind of highlighting the wellness real estate output versus just your general construction. 24% of the global population feels lonely. And, when we talk about social wellness and real estate and how we're solving the loneliness kind of epidemic, and I think that's really important.
Absolutely. Well, first off, thanks for having me. A little bit on myself and Adopt. We started the firm about 6 years ago now. Started off as more of a generalist tech investing firm, looking at primarily the U.S. market. If you asked me a year ago what real estate wellness looks like, I'd probably talk about Blank Street. That's the closest thing that came to mind. Over the last couple months, we've really kind of dug into the space, and we've been active backers of multiple concepts now, and are getting more and more active. We had an institutional fund that we were initially deploying out of. We now deploy all personal capital out of a family office, and thanks for having me, and excited to be here.
So we have been around as a firm for 17 years and have always been at the sort of juxtaposition of private equity and real estate. We used to sort of invest sort of private equity style into real estate developers. And that did very well. But over time, we got more and more involved in sort of operating real estate businesses. We did data centers very successfully for a while, and so on. And inevitably, sort of in the pre-COVID era, that led us to what we call social real estate. So by social real estate, we mean co-working, co-living, student housing, hostels, fitness studios, yoga studios, music studios, any kind of sharing economy, tech-enabled, community and experience-oriented real estate.
I have a pretty unique approach, overlapping with a lot of these things that have been said so far. But the way that I view wellness and health is through a holistic lens with a couple different layers. The first layer being multidimensional, so not just physical health, but financial, social, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, occupational, environmental. So I'm looking to disrupt the sick care industrial complex, the food industrial complex, and really get at the root cause of all of the health and wellness deficits that we see across society. Have identified a bunch of problems, one of those being the loneliness epidemic that's been addressed here, and many others.
Loneliness and sort of the atomization of society that is sort of was accelerated or exacerbated by COVID, and is really also kind of a function of just having so much technology in our lives.
Having traditional office space, having office space that's attracting wellness-oriented companies or people because of the other things that are co-located with that space, right? And,
Yep,
and then also doing so in residential or hospitality combinations as well. So you have groups, in the boutique space, figuring out ways to incorporate the wellness angle to the travel. And so you arrive somewhere and it's all integrated with the ability to have those types of activities and experiences as part of the vacation. So it's actually a wellness experience as opposed to a, relax and party experience.
One of the things in Southeast Asia is, Southeast Asia is one of the best places in the world to scuba dive. And scuba diving, swimming, ocean sports, surfing, these are vigorous, healthy, get out into the outdoors, move.
But I think even outside of that, you see a lot of different form factors in terms of new sports that are coming out of these niche communities and really going viral, like paddle or pickle, and a lot of these more not really authentic to the founder and what they want to build. And so a lot of the times,
well washing.
yeah, exactly. They'll put contrast therapy mixed with a paddle court ecosystem with also a matcha bar there, and there's just kind of too much really going on.
I mean, two out of those three words are real estate. So we are ultimately in a capital intensive business. The way that we address that is that we try to find good operators, right? Whether
So, start with one. What does it do? The initial, the sort of 6 month, 12 month, and the stabilization. Hopefully the stabilization is pretty quick. Hopefully, the startup costs and the ongoing operations and the attached management and people associated with it are. I'll go quickly. For me, it's all of the above from an exit standpoint. Whoever pays the highest price. But the
What's
specifically
customary? What are you kind of expecting?
Yeah. So, I mean, customarily or expectation wise, what I'm expecting is that there is, a larger incumbent out there that is looking to access something new that they don't have in their portfolio of businesses, most often.
I think our Mad Monkey hostel business will be as likely to be bought by Marriott because it's the fastest growing part of, Asian hostels are the highest and fastest growing part of hospitality anywhere in the world.